What's up, you guys? In today's live stream, I want to kind of talk about looks maxing, which has been a trend, I guess, for the past. It was really prominent in 2025, and it's still pretty prominent. So I want to go and take a look at some clips from one of the most famous looks maxers out there. Obviously, everybody knows who it is, Clavicular. And I want to go over some of the stuff he says because I agree with some of the stuff he says, and then I don't agree with some of the stuff he says. And what's interesting is that well, he doesn't want to get surgery anymore, but at one point he wanted to get limb lengthening surgery to become 6'6", I believe. But now, since he has all the fame, he doesn't really want it anymore, which makes sense because when you get all the fame and the money, you begin to realize that you no longer need um that looks don't really matter anymore because your money and your fame far surpass your looks. So in most cases it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter as much is what I should say. So what I'm going to do is basically figure out if you can in fact grow taller at any age. So yeah. So let's go take a look at some clips here. And we're also going to check out a different looks maxer, or more so a height maxer, who goes by the name of Guarav height maxing. We're going to take a look at him. He's some Indian guy. Apparently he went from 5'8", 5'6" to 5'9". So we're going to look at that and see if it's actually true or not. And we're also going to look at some other stuff. But right now, let's go take a look at some clips from Clavicular.
What about the shoulder pads? Are you still rocking shoulder pads?
I wouldn't say it's the greatest looks max. I would say it's a pretty high risk one.
High risk in terms of what? Like getting caught with stuff in your shoulders?
Yeah.
Is that
Hold on, I'm going to turn the volume down just a little bit. Yeah, ridiculous molding. I have no idea who that is. Okay, so let's decrease the audio here. Do. Okay, that should suffice.
for the traps or what's the goal there?
To widen your bite out.
Should I rock hockey pads?
Good. Yeah. I think that might be a little bit more obvious.
What about the shoulder pads? Are you still rocking shoulder pads?
I wouldn't say it's the greatest looks max. I would say it's a pretty high risk one.
High risk in terms of what? Like getting caught with stuff in your shoulders?
Yeah.
Is that for the traps or what's the goal there?
To widen your bite out.
Should I rock hockey pads?
Good. Yeah. I think that might be a little bit more obvious.
What about the shoulder pads?
Okay, so for the first thing we're going to go over is the shoulder pads. And honestly, this is one of my least favorite looks maxing recommendations from Clavicular. He has some good ones, but honestly, this one I don't really, it's a little far-fetched, right? Like, nobody's really giving a fuck about your shoulders like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a fuck about your shoulders, bro? Like, I mean, I understand like it is more attractive to have like wider shoulders or for men, I guess, but at the end of the day, nobody's paying that much attention to it, right? At the end of the day, let's keep it real. So let's find another clip. Using hockey pads for your shoulders to make them look bigger. Like,
This looks maxing influencer named Clavicular is going viral after people discovered the truth about his transformation. He looks like he's in his mid-20s, but he's actually only 19, and the reason shocked everyone. Clavicular admitted he started taking testosterone at just 14 years old, saying he didn't care about side effects and only wanted fast results. He even does extreme things like bone smashing, literally hitting his face with a hammer. On top of that, Clavicular sells paid looks maxing courses and constantly tells people that looks are all that matter. This looks
yeah, see, I think he had this stance more when before he got super famous that looks are the only thing that matter. I feel like now he's starting to realize that it's not just looks that matter, but Going off of this, man, it's great. He took testosterone at 14 years old. When you're 14, your body's producing natural testosterone, and you should be going through puberty. So I don't see why he had to take testosterone to begin with. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand if you're trying to height max, some people say if you take human growth hormone uh, during um, during puberty or during your growing years, um, you have um, you have a higher chance of becoming taller, or you have a higher chance of basically reaching your maximum height limit. So maybe, but I have no idea what testosterone would do, as your body's naturally producing its own testosterone at that age at high amounts. So I have no idea why he would take testosterone at 14 years old. There has to be a reason for this, obviously, right?
Maxing influencer named
But
Clavicular.
I don't think this clip is going to explain it, so we are not going to watch this clip any further, but that's just my thoughts on that. Like, I understand if you're a bodybuilder, if you're older, if you have low testosterone in your 20s and you're done growing and you want to take testosterone, that's cool. You can do that. But taking it at 14 is a little far-fetched, don't you think? Like, taking it at 14 is pretty crazy. Like, it's honestly pretty freaking crazy. Like, that's crazy as hell. But let's see what else. The hammer, yo. We need to see the hammer, bro. Okay, look at
What
him
are you
right
doing?
here. Look at him
Giving you
trying to
all the
help Neon looks max his face out.
Alright, wait. So don't move. Just keep it still.
What is he doing,
A
bro?
little bit more. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, because we're giving your face angularities.
Do you have my glasses on your chest?
Yeah.
Wow, bro. I feel like I'm your bitch. What are you doing?
I'm giving you.
I don't know what he's doing there. I have no freaking clue. He's drawing on his face or something. I don't know what he's trying to do, bro. I have no freaking clue, okay? I have no idea what is going on here. But, okay. I want to see what he says about height. The only part of looks maxing that I actually care about is height maxing. So when it comes to decompressing your spine and doing a bunch of things that help you stand a little bit taller, I'm all for that. You know what I mean? But I'm not for like the hammer to the face, the hockey pads on the shoulders, and then taking testosterone at 14. I'm not for all of that, okay? Uh let's see, clavicular on let's see, height maxing. But see, here's my thing, right? There's a height maxing method that hasn't been tested yet. Well, it's been tested. Some people have claimed to have tried it and have claimed to actually grown some inches from it. But let me know I'm gonna mention it later in this stream. I will mention it later. It's through Wolf's Law, and he does mention Wolf's Law a lot. Clav mentions Wolf's Law a lot. He says Wolf's Law is what happens when he uses the hammer on the jawbone or the cheekbone or whatever you want to call it. He uses the hammer, and then the bones come back stronger and is therefore making the shape more defined. He's basically saying that microfractures are contributing to the bone remodeling, which gives him a better looking jawline. Okay, so if he knows, he obviously knows about microfractures, but I'm surprised why he never really promoted the idea of using microfractures to grow taller. And I've the only thing I heard him talk about in terms of like looks maxing to grow taller is getting limb lengthening surgery. That's the only thing. He never mentioned the microfracture method, which is not limb lengthening. It's a different method that I have not tried out yet. Some people claim it works, some people claim it doesn't work. I'm gonna have to find out. Like in the summer, I might attempt to do this to see if it actually works. And if it does work, I would only want to gain like an inch and a half of height. I wouldn't even want to be like, or about 2 inches. Like I wouldn't want to be any taller than that, honestly. I'm already pretty tall. Like I'm like a little over average, but yeah. So let's see. What the hell is he talking
So
about
how
here?
much extra growth would you say you had on like just your height alone?
I would speculate that about 1.5 inches of my height would be attributed to, things that I did. Because while my dad is 6'1", my mom is only 5'4". So I would assume that I would probably be a little bit shorter than I am, about 1.5 inches. But it really is hard to say.
So how much extra growth?
Hmm. Okay. I see what he's saying. Saying that the human growth hormone or the steroids that he took at 14 contributed to him reaching the height that he is now. Um, Although he claims that even if he didn't take it, he would probably still be pretty tall, like probably just like an inch shorter, an inch and a half shorter than what he actually is now because um, his dad's pretty tall. So he still could have been tall, even regardless of whether he took it or not.
So how much extra growth would you say you had on like just your height alone?
I would speculate that about 1.5 inches of my height would be attributed to, things that I did. Because while my dad is 6'1".
But mind you, he did this while his growth plates were still open. When your growth plates fuse, growth hormone really isn't going to help you.
Oh look, your lip's maxing right now. Holy shit. Wait, can I borrow those? I got a date in a couple days. Can you tell me where to get them? Wait, hold up. Oh look, your lip's maxing right now. Holy shit. Wait, can I borrow?
Holy crap, bro. How tall is she actually? Damn. Who knows? Oh well. Dun, dun, dun. So now I want to go to Guarav height maxing. So this guy is. So I'm going to talk about the Wolf's Law method. I'm surprised Clavicular never mentioned this, because he does know about microfractures. I'm surprised the only option that he introduced to growing taller would be to basically get limb lengthening surgery, which is what he also considered at one point. He no longer wants it, as it appears. But at one point, he said on the Jack Neal podcast. He said he was going to basically get limb lengthening surgery to become 6'6", and he knows about microfractures. I'm surprised that he never really he never really promoted the method where it's you use Wolf's Law and you basically jump and you sprint. You do a bunch of different like high intense activities like sprinting and jumping, and it creates microfractures in your shin bone. And then after those microfractures are created in the shin bone, you apply ankle weights for about 30 to minutes to an hour and let your legs hang off of something. And this will ensure that because whenever your legs have microfractures, gravity, what I'm saying, is what basically makes them expand. It expands like horizontally, but by using ankle weights, the microfractures will repair, but it'll repair like in like a vertical way or something like that is what they claim. And apparently it's supposed to lengthen your shin bone, therefore making you taller. So first you have to basically run, jump, sprint, do anything to apply trauma to your legs to basically get those microfractures. And then once you get those microfractures, you apply ankle weights, and then you let your legs hang off of something, and then the ankle weights create like a downward pressure that basically causes your shin bone to elongate over time, is what he's saying. Now, I'm not sure I don't know if this is actually true. Let's go to Guarav height maxing, because this guy actually tried this out. Yeah, look at this guy. Some
My
Indian
height
guy,
is
but he's
really
cool.
increasing, and I feel very motivated today. This is only possible because I've been doing height maximization workouts consistently for the past 14 to 15.
He claimed to have went from after his growth plates closed as an adult, he went from 5'6" to 5'9", which is pretty
Days,
insane.
such as stretching, hanging,
I
massage
don't know if I believe it, but it's
jumps, and
interesting.
sleep stretches. I've also increased my protein intake, which is why I've started seeing results. I'll share my proper height measurement on October 31st, and honestly, it doesn't matter if you're over 18 or 20, or if your genetics aren't good.
Hmm.
My height is really increasing, and I
Let's
feel
find some
very
other
motivated.
clips from this guy.
Today is day 24 of the 30-day height increasing challenge. I head to the park to play basketball, hoping the basketball.
Okay, let me see something. Let me see one of his other. He has to have some better videos, bro.
मेरी रियल हाइट कितनी है और मैं हाइट इंक्रीज करने के लिए पर डे कितने मिनट वर्कआउट करता हूँ, ये दो सवाल आजकल मुझसे सबसे ज्यादा पूछे जा रहे हैं। वेलकम टू डे 14 ऑफ हाइट इंक्रीजिंग चैलेंज। घर पे हाइट मेजर करने के लिए तुम्हें 3 चीजों की जरूरत पड़ेगी। एक रेक्टेंगुलर शेप की कोई भी चीज, मैं ये फोन का कवर यूज कर रहा हूँ, इसके साथ इंची टेप और एक पेन या फिर पेंसिल। तो चलो देखते हैं मेरी एग्जैक्ट हाइट कितनी है। हाइट मेजर करते टाइम आपको ध्यान रखना है कि जो फोन के कवर का बैक सरफेस है वो वॉल से टच होना चाहिए।
This is a before and
छोटू की
after.
एज 18 प्लस है और ये मेरी तरह 5'6" से 5 फुट 9 का होना चाहता है। छोटू ने अपनी हाइट बढ़ाने के लिए बहुत
So he's put on the ankle
कोशिश
weights and
की, जैसे
he's
पेड़ पे
jumping.
लटकना, अपनी बॉडी को एक्सट्रीम लेवल
He's
पर
creating microfractures.
स्ट्रेच करना, खाली
Look what
पड़े
he's
स्कूल
doing,
में
bro.
बास्केटबॉल खेलना। लेकिन इन सब के बावजूद भी छोटू की हाइट नहीं बढ़ी, क्योंकि छोटू 18 साल का होते होते अपनी पोटेंशियल हाइट अचीव कर चुका है और अब छोटू की बॉडी ने नेचुरली हाइट बढ़ाना बंद कर दिया है। तो इसका मतलब है क्या छोटू अब लंबा नहीं हो पाएगा? नेचुरली तो मुश्किल है, लेकिन एडवांस मेथड से छोटू अभी भी अपनी हाइट इंक्रीज कर सकता है। लेकिन सबसे पहले हमें छोटू को मेंटली हाइट ग्रोथ जर्नी के लिए प्रिपेयर करना होगा, क्योंकि इसके फ्रेंड्स ने इसके मन में एक मिथ और नेगेटिव थॉट्स डाल दिए हैं कि अब तू चाहे कितना भी लटक ले तेरी हाइट नहीं बढ़ेगी। इसलिए सबसे पहले हमें छोटू को विश्वास दिलाना पड़ेगा कि अभी देर नहीं हुई है, वो अभी भी अपनी ड्रीम हाइट अचीव कर सकता है। बस उसे कुछ स्टेप्स को फॉलो करना होगा, जिसके बारे में हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में बात करेंगे। और छोटू की हाइट जर्नी देखने के लिए फॉलो करना मत भूलना। छोटू की एज 18 प्लस है और ये मेरी तरह।
Damn, I don't know if this is real, guys. Comment down below. Does anybody know if this is real? Like, does anyone know if this is actually real, bro?
21 साल के बाद हाइट इंक्रीज करने का सबसे बेस्ट मेथड है स्लीप स्ट्रेच मेथड, जिससे तुम 5 सेंटीमीटर तक इजीली अपनी हाइट को इंक्रीज कर।
Yeah, and also that's another component of it too, is basically whenever you go to sleep, attach like a rope or something, or like something to your leg, and then attach it to something on the other end so it can stretch your legs out during, while you sleep. That's another component of it. It's not just creating microfractures in your legs by high intensity exercise, then using ankle weights and letting your legs hang to create that downward pressure, but also basically doing what he just did right there.
कर सकते हो। वेलकम टू डे 3 ऑफ हाइट मैक्सिंग चैलेंज। वैसे तो मैंने बहुत सारी एक्सरसाइज फॉलो की हैं, बट जो रिजल्ट्स मुझे स्लीप स्ट्रेच से मिले हैं वो किसी और एक्सरसाइज से नहीं मिले, क्योंकि ये मेथड डायरेक्ट आपकी स्पाइन पर इफेक्ट डालता है, जिससे स्पाइन में मौजूद इंटरवर्टिब्रल डिस्क से हमारी हाइट इंक्रीज होती है। और इस मेथड को करने का तरीका बहुत सिंपल है। रेजिस्टेंट बैंड को किसी स्टेबल चीज जैसे विंडो बार या डोर हुक से टाई अप कर लेना है और कुछ इस तरह से टॉवल को जोड़ के रेजिस्टेंट बैंड के साथ बांध देना है और अपने पैरों को टॉवल में कंफर्टेबली डाल के इस तरह से लेट जाना है। इसको आपको डेली 1 घंटा करना है। लगातार ना कर पाओ तो 30 मिनट करके 2 बार भी कर सकते हो और धीरे धीरे तुम्हें स्लीप स्ट्रेच का टाइम इंक्रीज करते चले जाना है। एंड पर डे मैक्सिमम आप 6 घंटे तक।
And he's doing all of this after creating the microfractures, right? He's not just doing it. He's creating the microfractures by performing high intensity exercises like sprinting and jumping, like Messiah jumps, and then he's doing this, okay? So, yeah.
कर सकते हो। और गाइज मैं आपको अपना रूटीन ब्रेक डाउन करके समझा रहा हूँ, जिससे चीजें अच्छे से क्लियर हो जाएंगी। तुम केवल 3 से 4 महीने दूर हो अपनी ड्रीम हाइट से, इसलिए आज से ही स्लीप स्ट्रेच करना स्टार्ट कर दो। और रेजिस्टेंट बैंड परचेज करने के लिए कमेंट कर दो लिंक। रेजिस्टेंट बैंड की लिंक डीएम में आ जाएगी, जिसने मुझे फॉलो कर रखा होगा, इसलिए जल्दी से फॉलो कर लो। एंड बाई चांस लिंक नहीं आती है तो आप मेरे बायो में दिए गए वेबसाइट से 100% अपना रेजिस्टेंट बैंड ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं। सो आई सी यू इन द डे 4 ऑफ दिस चैलेंज। बाय। 21
Dang, yo, gaining 3 inches naturally is crazy. Wow. That's pretty crazy, man. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about looks maxing and height maxing. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Um, yeah, this has been crazy. It's been a crazy stream, a crazy video, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but let me know what you guys think. Did you guys thought I gave some good points, or what do you guys think? And here's one thing: if I get if I get 100,000 subscribers, or on YouTube or Kick, I will do a I will try the Wolf's Law method in the summertime. I will try to basically grow taller using the exact same methods that this guy right here is using. Okay? So, yeah, so leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and see you guys later. Peace out.